The date is Friday, May 13th, and you're listening to Entertain This, a thought-provoking podcast encapsulating all things entertainment. It's once again time for our Star Wars May the 4th Extravaganza, and on this episode, we're bringing on some special guests to talk to us about the galaxy far, far away, and playing a quiz game to see who is the best at Star Wars movie trivia. So enjoy, and may the Force be with you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite show on the internet, encapsulating all things entertainment. You know it, you love it. It's Entertain This.
Entertain This!
As always, I'm Alex.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Nick.
And guys, something's missing.
Is it?
I think so. See, what many people who've listened to our show long term may know, and some may not, we record our episodes a week early. So those of you listening to the episode via Spotify and other podcatchers of your choice, this may seem a bit odd to you, but today is May the 4th.
And also with you.
And with
Thank
your
you.
spirit.
And with your spirit. Exactly. Thank you very much. And as we so often do, or at least how we have done the past 2 years, we celebrate May the 4th on this entertainment podcast by bringing you a May the 4th special. But
I'm on a tradition.
if we're going to do a May the 4th special, I think we need to get in the right mood.
Yeah.
This is an audio and visual cue. But the audio cue, Nick will have to put in post-production. Insert Star Wars-like music here for the transition.
Okay. No copyright strikes.
No copyright strikes, thank you.
Star Wars like music.
So it
Yes,
sounds
correct.
something like this.
You just make it strictly your voice singing something, like, but make it like multiple layers, like an a cappella group who definitely needs to rehearse more. Yeah, that's great. I want exactly that. Thank you. It wouldn't be a Star Wars special without a couple of guests who know much more than the three of us, and we have that. Let's bring them on one at a time. First off, you know him, you love him. He writes our interludes. It's DJW, also known as Devin Skywalker.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yo!
Is that DJW?
Welcome back. Welcome back on the show.
I gotta do it every time. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Hey, you gonna be thrown off when you hear the new tag later on.
New tag.
We're definitely gonna let you plug that here in a bit. This is your third time
It is.
on our Star Wars Extravaganza, and this is of course episode 3 of our Star Wars Extravaganza. You've made all 3 of them. You're a three-peat, as they say.
Three-peat.
Three-peat.
Setting the record, I think. Anybody else?
Yeah, us.
Well,
I'll take it.
You and the 3 of us have showed up on every single episode.
I'll take
And
it.
for our other expert to join this roundtable discussion as we celebrate all things Star Wars on this glorious day of May the 4th, it is Nick Wolf.
Whoa, Nick Wolf!
Hey, whoa!
Hello.
is that
Am I
Nick
Wait.
coming?
You're coming in
am I
loud
coming
and
in
clear.
correctly?
I
Loud
don't
and
think
clear?
we can fully see your shirt. That's the
Oh.
only complaint I have.
Oh, good.
Your mic is
Hang on.
blocking
Let
it just a little bit, but you can go ahead. Yeah, there it is.
yeah.
That's a
Ooh.
That's-
Ryan Johnson!
That's a little bonus for those who are watching the visual podcast.
Yes, for our audio preferential people, tripping over my words here. My shirt says directed by Ryan Johnson. Now, I actually thought that a few of you guys would be wearing Star Wars shirts, as this is a May the 4th endeavor. So I have a couple leather shirts that I was going to wear, but I was like, I know this shirt won't be copied by anyone else, so that's why I wore it. But now
It's
it
very
seems I'm
good.
the only one
That's true. That's
wearing
true.
a Star Wars shirt, so I feel
Well, but
wow.
it's your commitment to character is just so
Yeah.
great. I don't even know where you would get a shirt that would just say in a Star Wars-esque font, directed by Ryan Johnson. That's
There are websites.
Thank you. That's
Really,
true.
which ones?
I can't. I think it's something Yeti.
Well, it's a little
I'll
hush
try to
hush
find
on
it.
the
Yak
DL.
something or whatever. But they have a ton of different directed by T-shirts. But that's a whole other conversation. Happy to be here. I think this is my second time on a Star Wars centered entertain this podcast. So always happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Excited to have you on here. I bring you two on because you are proven experts in all things Star Wars. Devin, you've had a long history of Star Wars knowledge. Your last name is Walker,
Yes.
and that pretty much instantly qualifies you. But besides that, you are a connoisseur of both the movies series as well as some of the graphic novels, comics, and other literature as well. And Nick, you have almost 100% completed Lego Star Wars, so that's pretty good too.
Expert.
Wow.
Expert.
That's my
Wow.
credit.
I mean, that's one of
Everything
them.
else-
That's one of
nothing
them.
else.
But you
That
see,
is street cred.
you see this.
Nick, that's a credit, cause man, that is. That's
It's a big
credit.
game. I get
It's a
that.
big
but
game.
That's
I
a credit.
wanna also stipulate so Devin, your last name Walker, is that it?
Yes.
So is your correlation there, Alex, that it's like AT-AT walkers?
Or Skywalker is
Or
also fine.
Skywalker? Okay.
And he has a
will say
dog
this-
named Kylo.
I about to say,
that,
and check this out too. Also, I have me and my wife have agreed that if we were to ever have a son, she has agreed on the name of Lucas. Now, with his last name being Walker, what people gonna call him?
Luke.
Yeah.
And then what are they gonna say?
They're gonna say Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
especially once you make his middle name
middle
Skye.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, see, I wasn't gonna get. I don't think I'm gonna get the middle.
Oh,
name.
you had to
I don't
make
think
it
I'm gonna
was
get
one
the-
Here's-
concession on it.
I don't
Here's
think
the
I'm gonna get
thing.
middle name.
Here's a little inside baseball for the listeners. His wife is my sister, so I will be there when this happens. I can distract her long enough and or steal the birth certificate, and we can get this done.
that might needs to be what happens. 'Cause
Wow.
I was just banking on it being Lucas Walker, and then just knowing people was gonna automatically say Luke Skywalker, so I was gonna be fine with it.
Exactly. Now, Nick, you do have a plethora of other qualifications. You are a movie connoisseur, a fan of many of the other Star Wars platforms, just the same as Devin. But in your own words, you can go ahead and rattle off some things that maybe I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess if I have to like prove like this is like an interview for a job.
That's
Like,
right.
What are my
We will
qualifications?
kick you off the show right here, right now.
I've seen all of the movies too many times to count. I watch them every year all the way through. I've gone through the Clone Wars, Rebels. My last name Wolf. Since you guys were trying to draw correlations between Devin's last name, Wolf loath wolves on the planet Lothal from Star Wars Rebels. That's a
Hey.
whole thing we could get into if we need to. I went and traveled to California back when they did previews for Galaxy's Edge, and I used to live in Orlando, Florida, and would frequent the planet of Batu at Hollywood Studios quite a lot. Gone on the rides, drank all the green and blue milk to my heart's content. And I also, we can get into this later. I think that's part of on the agenda, but I also went to Star Wars Celebration in Orlando once upon a time. And yeah, great memories there. So big fan of the series. Love Star Wars. Happy to talk about it. Let's go.
Follow-up question, just for those who aren't too familiar. You talked about an event that you went to down in Florida. What exactly was that event?
The Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah,
Okay.
for people
if we're
unfamiliar.
For the uninitiated, basically it's a Comic-Con sort of convention, multi-day sort of event that takes place yearly. I went the year it was in Orlando, Florida. I was there for 4 days, and it's a convention. You know, you got all those booths, cosplayers, things like that. Celebrities are there from all sorts of different parts of Star Wars, whether it's the animated, live action, things like that, panels. They actually, the next one is happening later this month in Anaheim. They had to take a brief reprieve due to the pandemic and stuff like that. But I went there, and just the highlight for me, if I can get into it just briefly, is I I waited outside of the convention center for like 3 or 4 hours, long ass line wrapping around the Orlando Convention Center. And then they finally let us in, and we were in this big like convention center, like the ground was like cement, and we're all just kind of like queued up. This was for the Last Jedi panel for the next day. So we were lined up overnight to get into the panel, because there was like 3 panel rooms, one that was going to have the main cast, and then the other like side panel rooms where a couple moderators would be and we would watch the telecast. I did not get into the main hall. I got into the telecast room. I got to see the young, he's not young, but he looks young, I suppose, Warwick Davis, who plays many different characters in the Star Wars universe. But the cool thing about that whole event is we're all just laying there on the ground, just hanging out. It's like 3 a.m. or whatever. And Rian Johnson comes through and one by one goes through the entire rows of people lined up and signs everything and gets pictures and meets and shakes the hand and hugs every single person. And he stayed there for like 3-4 hours and met every single fan. And I got it, actually, my badge signed by him, and got a picture with him. And it was a super cool moment. The sort of admiration and sort of generosity he extended, and just, it was really humble of him to just hang out with people for hours at like 5 a.m. was super cool.
Dope.
And a fun highlight.
Now your shirt choice is perfect. That's the cherry on top. I think that's a great story. Especially
but I also like the
considering...
movie, so
Okay.
It's not just like I'm blinded by like I met him. Like I can get beyond that. So I just really like the movie. But that's besides the point.
While we're still in this sort of getting to know you phase of what this episode is going to be, let's just go ahead, go clockwise, and if you can pick out your favorite Star Wars movie, this includes the sequels, if so be it you wish to pick those. Let's just sound off. I'll go ahead and go first. And I'm going to say episode 3 is my favorite because I think it has some of the best lightsaber fights in all of the Star Wars canon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Sith.
Yeah.
I love
Bold
it.
choice.
Bold choice, but I stand by it. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think, like, I remember growing up as a kid, I think episode 2 and 3 were my favorites because it had like the best lightsaber fights.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as a more mature and learned adult, I've got to go with episode 5. It just got too much like drama all throughout it, and it's like it's got all this like awesome overarching plot that fuels all of what's happening without like, especially if you put yourself in the place of like someone who was watching it back when it came out, not having the knowledge of like who Darth Vader is and like who like all the stories of all the previous characters from the prequels, and it's just like, oh, it's piece de resistance.
Delicious.
An interesting choice. I was going to go with episode 3, like you, Alex and Michael, but I want to be different today. So I'm going to pick the name is escaping right now because I opened my mouth and then my thoughts just disappear. But what was the one where they're trying to steal the plans for the Death Star?
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Rogue
That's
One.
my favorite.
The sequel.
It's so good because it starts off like, okay, how are they going to steal this thing? How are they going to steal it? And then it ends and just...
It's a heist movie.
It's perfect.
They
Change my mind.
didn't need to go as hard as they did in the end, and I'm happy they did. With how it seamlessly segues, they didn't have to go that close to like, and now it's episode 4. But the fact that they did that, it's like, holy shit, dude.
That was the end, like where Darth Vader's in the hallway, and then all you see is him igniting his lightsaber. It's just, oh boy.
Hey, he was tearing their ass up.
Oh yeah.
He was tearing, like, when he did the fist and put that dude on the roof.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, man, yeah.
Dude,
Full-power
that is the first time you see Darth Vader in action where you're like scared of him. It's like, I see
And
why everyone else is scared.
I hope we later get to talk about what Disney Plus is doing, because I think that they're going to tap more into that. We're going to see more of that from him.
Are you talking
later
about
on.
Obi-Wan, the upcoming
I
series?
think Obi-Wan, so I know we were supposed to be talking about our favorite movies, but I think Obi-Wan is the segue because notice they're not, if you look at the trailer, they're not hiding literally put Darth Vader in the trailer. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah.
just basically say like this is what he's gonna look like when we put him on the screen, for a TV series. So I personally believe that's where we're heading for, seeing more Darth Vader in TV series. Whether it's his own personal show or he's gonna make more guest appearances for sure.
We'll have to see.
My huge hope for Obi-Wan is
new hope.
to actually see the
Very
fight
good.
from Star Wars Rebels between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, their final clash, actually happen in a movie,
Okay, not gonna see
in a
that.
show. I know we're not. I just want to see it so goddamn good.
It's nice to dream. Devin,
Right.
while we're on you, your favorite
What's your favorite?
piece of Star Wars, we'll say.
It's gonna be Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
It's a good one.
Yeah. You'll hear it throughout this conversation. I am a Luke Skywalker.
Stan, if you would.
Yeah, Stan. Yeah. So I really believe that there's a lot director wise and like really depth into it that really stood out for his character in Episode 6. So yeah, that'd be Episode 6 would be mine because of Luke Skywalker's standpoint and just his whole character development at that point.
Yeah, man. That's definitely a very heavy Luke Luke movie. If not, most of the original trilogy, but definitely that one out of those three. Nick, on to you.
Well, first, can I just ask Devin, where do you stand on the song Jedi Rocks?
Excuse me?
Everyone was confused.
Do you know what part that is? So, okay, so just to kind of reset it a little bit. So in the original cut of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, yes, there's the Jabba's Palace, Cy Snoodles, and what's his name? The blue elephant guy. Shit, figuring his name. I'll touch back on that guy later.
I know you talking about.
There's a song, they're dancing or whatever for Jabba and stuff like that. And then in the re-release, in the one that if you go out to the store to buy Return of the Jedi, it's a new song. George Lucas added new CG and new thank you, Michael, Max Rebo. Thank God.
Yep.
Yes, there's a new song and Cy Snoodles sings it and she's like, and it's just like a whole yeah. How do you feel about that?
Heavy jazz influence.
Okay,
in this
I'm
one,
gonna be honest with you. It's not. I'm not too much of a stickler for that. So like, it's not turning me off on it or anything. Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing as if you buy the new edition, you see Hayden Christensen instead of the guy that the original. I'm kind of the same way. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with that because I know that Star Wars is continuing and it's building on, and like Hayden is the face of Anakin now. I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? But like, if we didn't have sequel trilogy and Star Wars was just left at that, and then they did that, I think I would have been like, okay, why did you do that? So if that makes sense. So I'm kind of like, I don't mind it per se.
I know there's a scant few of us. I mean, I think it's stupid. I don't think it really adds anything. I don't know why they did it, but I think that's kind of why I like it, because it's so unnecessary to like ham it up that much, and the CG is kind of really dated, and the music's really, really weird. But I kind of admire Lucas for being like, oh, we gotta put this back in. This needs to be in my final cut. It's like, why? I don't know, but I'm
it was
glad
always
they
a
did.
part of the plan.
Right.
But
Jar Jar Binks was always a part of the plan.
Yes.
Separate of that.
Jar Jar next,
before we finish, remind me before we're done to tell you guys my theory on what I think Disney is gonna do with 4, 5, and 6, somewhat in the future.
Okay. I'm interested.
We'll put that in your back pocket, Alex. So to just round out this sort of round table of our favorite Star Wars, one would think that I'm going to pick The Last Jedi. I have like a favorite in each trilogy of that's my favorite of the trilogy. But if we're kind of taking steps back and saying just point blank, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? If you're going to put any movie on, what are you going to do? I'm probably putting on Episode 3. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I love the emotional stakes of it. I think it it takes a lot of the melodrama from episode 2, but actually ratchets it up a bit and actually makes it more serious because the consequences are more serious. The stakes are real, and the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin and the fall that happens between them is truly heartbreaking. Every time I watch it, I'm like, no, you guys are friends. What's happening? And
they were brothers.
They were brothers even. And there's a couple great like shots in the movie that are just like so goofy. There's like the one that comes to mind is the face off between Grievous and Obi-Wan. And Grievous is like, you have to know you are doomed. And it's like really extra close up on his face. And then it cuts to Obi-Wan. He's like, oh, I don't think so. And he's like, it's like a weird, and it's super silly. And I love it.
That's awesome.
Also, sorry, just one more thing because it stirs my heart. There's the moment when Anakin's like looking off into the skies, I believe in Coruscant, and it's like this very somber music, and there's no dialogue at all, and it just kind of flashes back between him and Padme, and they're both kind of like looking off in the distance, and you sense this foreboding sense of dread, and you know where this is going, and you know the decision that he's going to make, and your heart breaks, and you can tell Padme's like, don't do this, Chief, like this is not good. And that moment in particular stands out as like a really interesting creative decision on the part of Lucas to present it in that manner. The movie's littered with so many great moments. I love that movie so much.
Well, I mean, there's so much fun you can have with a movie when your audience already knows how the story is going to end.
Absolutely.
That's how you're going to get there. That matters.
I think that's going to be a wrap on our Get to Know You segment. Now we're going to get right into some of the more planned out stuff. And we'll loop back around at the end just to clear
That was
up
the
some...
Get to Know You.
that was the Get to Know You segment. That's right.
Now that we're
already
all
20 minutes in. Well, this is, I hope, not too big of a shock, but we do have a bit of a game to play.
Oh
God, I'm terrible
Jeopardy.
at games. Oh my God.
Jeopardy.
They gonna be like, these dudes don't know shit about Star Wars.
I
am
Max
so
Rebo's
terrible
name.
at quizzes. Oh my God.
Here's how the game's going to work. We currently have Jeopardy up on the board for those of you listening into audio fashion. There are 5 different segments of the Jeopardy board here, different topics of questions. We have quotes, episodes, characters, locations, and trivia. And if this is too easy, I have a harder one. So we'll see how this goes. If you guys like, oh, this is too easy, there's a much harder one that I will then switch to. Okay. But here's how it's going to work for you boys sitting here in the chat. We have a private chat for just our little recording studio here. The way Jeopardy usually works is whoever buzzes in first. In this case, it's going to be whoever can send the letter S for Star Wars first will get to answer the question. Do you guys know basically Jeopardy rules?
Yeah.
Are we all good there?
Yes.
The basic way that it works, I'll just explain quickly.
Who is?
You must answer in the form of a question, correct? And basically, once you get an answer right, you tell me what topic and for what point value you want your next question to be. That's the amount of points that will be rewarded if you get the question right by buzzing in first. So I think it only fair that Devin goes first, being that he is the only non-host here who has been on the show 3 times, and that'll be his little reward for showing up 3 times to the Star Wars episode.
To be fair,
go ahead.
I wasn't invited one of those times, so this kind of sucks against me because I never had the opportunity.
That's true and fair. However, we're sticking with it.
All right.
So, Devin,
I'm about to have Nick out for my head.
for the toss-up question, let me know your topic and point value.
Let's go with God. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with quotes, and you know what? I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna go quotes 500.
All right. Remember, the first person to send S in our private chat will get to answer this question. The question is: this character said, "I have a very bad feeling."
Come
about
on,
this.
man. He just read two words and he says like, "Bing."
All right, to Devin.
And what's sad is that now I'm drawing a blank on it. I have a very bad feeling about this.
What sucks is that they basically say a version of that in every
I
movie.
know.
Yeah.
He says a very bad feeling. So.
Oh,
he
God.
timed out.
No, we're good.
I do need
Cut
a
him off.
timer. Yeah, cut me off.
All right.
I'm drawing a blank.
All right, who wants to take a shot at
Michael,
it?
I didn't even.
All right, Michael.
You got to see it coming. I'm going to go, who is Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Who is... Incorrect.
That was gonna be my guess.
I
too.
swear, I think he says it like something very close to this 2 or 3 times straight in the chase for the assassin in episode 2.
Okay.
2.
It says Nick. I believe that's Mustakangas.
That that's
It
me.
is.
I should have
Okay.
put my name as Thick Nick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna guess it is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon.
Well, I guess I'm gonna jump in now, right?
Go ahead.
We've all
Yeah,
kind of gone down through.
correct.
Fucking.
So,
That's what I was gonna say. Sorry.
Who do you-
there's so
who do
many
you-
people.
Keep that out.
I'm gonna. You know what?
Oh.
I'm gonna say Lando.
Okay, let me go.
No redos. The correct answer was who is Luke
What?
Skywalker.
Luke
Wait,
Skywalker
what movie?
didn't say-
What?
What movie?
What movie?
I
Yeah.
thought
An
it was
excellent
Han
question.
Solo.
Something
I
for
thought
you
it
to
was Han
Google on your
Solo.
own time.
What's the timestamp?
Hold on.
All right, get on to the next question, my dude.
All
What
right,
is this?
back up to the toss-up. So, Devin,
Yeah.
I'm bothered.
You know what? Yep. What's up?
it's your turn.
Oh, again?
Again.
Let's go episodes 500.
Okay, episodes 500.
An interesting strategy.
This is the
Oh,
only film in
wow.
the series to have a PG-13 rating.
Oh wow, okay.
Uh,
I'm going to go with oh wait, do I say it?
Nope. You gotta buzz in the chat, in the private chat, and it looks like Michael already has.
Oh bloody hell!
Yeah.
I booked it before.
What is Star Wars Episode 3?
What is Star Wars Episode 3? A great question.
The suspense is killing me.
What is the name of Star Wars Episode 3?
Revenge of the Sith.
Attaboy. That's correct.
Can I challenge this?
Go ahead. What do you want to challenge?
This is not the only film in the series to receive a PG-13 rating. It is the first to
Yeah,
receive
it's
a
not
PG-13,
anymore.
but it's not. It's honey.
Oh.
They've left that
saying
behind
it's-
now.
You're saying it's an outdated
Yes, it is.
Jeopardy.
It's outdated unless you put this was the first in the series to receive. So,
Okay, well,
just
we're still
throw
going to
that
give
out
it to
there.
Michael.
Sure. I just think you should have done a little more research.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I also
Michael.
I also have a little bit of a challenge for the first question too. I googled it, as you said. There's a 2-minute long supercut of every person in the series saying, "I have a very bad feeling about this."
Oh, yeah?
Everyone
that
says it at least once.
The first appearance, though, I believe, is in episode 4. I'm looking at the clip right here. Luke says it. He's sitting right behind Chewbacca. So
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna go with episodes for 400.
Episodes for 400. Jabba the Hutt is killed by Leia in this episode. Michael.
Yeah, you gotta go with Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. What?
I'm sorry, we need that in the form of a question.
Oh god damn it!
Nick Wolf.
hi, Nick Wolf here. What is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi?
That's
it used to be
correct.
also titled Revenge of the Jedi, but that's a story for another time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Oh, is it my turn? Have I usurped
right.
the crown? Don't you
You
give me some
have.
points there? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Attaboy.
What do you say? What do you say we do locations for 500?
Locations for 500. This planet was the Confederacy's first capital and home to 2 major droid foundries. I
Two major
think that
droid
one goes to
foundries.
Devin.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell!
Oh, I
what?
can see. I was about to. I couldn't see.
I forgot how Jeopardy works. I thought I just got to answer it. But
No, you
I
gotta
had to
buzz in.
Son of a bitch.
Is it Fuck. Nope, that's not what I was thinking
It's
about.
that really orange.
I'm gonna
We're
say
not
Cor-
beeping you out.
I'm gonna say Coruscant.
Incorrect. Moving on to Nick.
Geonosis. What is Geonosis? Where is
Correct.
Geonosis?
Geonosis. That's where freaking Jango Fett died. Dang it.
Yep.
Hold on. We're hearing from the judges. He did say it in the form of a question. We're going to count it, but from now on, we have to have it in the form of a question first.
So you
Is
have
that
to
Chloe?
say, like, is it? You have to say, is it Jango Fett?
Where are
or you have to say, is it?
Who
You
is-
just have to
say
make
who
it in the
is, right.
form of a question.
Yeah.
I corrected myself mid.
I don't think
say
we're gonna get
Jango
too
Fett?
picky about it as long as we go like, who is Geonosis? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Who is
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's
Okay, I got
absolutely
you.
fine.
Who
All right.
is- Okay.
Nick, back to you.
Go ahead. Let's do this. Let's go characters 500.
Characters 500. Wiping out that bottom of the board fast.
Trying.
A communications disruption could mean only one thing. Invasion is said by this character.
I
That's going to go to Nick Mustakangas.
The Queen of Naboo.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Waiting it out. Let's hear from Nick Wolf.
So hang on. I can see this in my head. I know everything. I know the person that's saying it. He's never properly introduced, so you would have to like know.
Oh, Anakin.
No.
Wow.
I don't know. I know the guy's face. I hear it in my head.
Any other guesses? This one's going to go... Oh, Michael.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Who is it?
Who is Jar Jar Binks?
Incorrect.
Did you read the quote?
Go ahead,
There's no way
Devin.
he would say that phonetically.
Misa communication.
Gosh, it's what's his name? It's the
Okay, so
sea
you can
guy.
see him in your
Boss
head
ass?
too.
Yeah. No. When he said it's a trap, it's him. God, what is his name?
I want to help, but you're wrong.
It was either him. It was either
We're
him
calling
or
it
the
for
guy
time.
that Anakin killed at the end of episode 3.
Who is Governor C.O. Bibble?
Who the fuck is that?
He's the bald guy with the pointy goatee.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
All right,
Dropping
back
a
to Nick.
picture in the chat.
Sure.
Me, Nick, or the other Nick?
Wolf.
All right, let's do characters for 400.
Characters for 400.
Okay.
This character commands the Rebel fleet in their attack against the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
It's going to go to Devin.
Wait. This character commands the Rebel fleet in their attack against the second Death Star. The guy I was just talking about. Do I have to say his name?
Yeah.
Who is?
yes.
Oh my god.
That's Jeopardy. That's how the game works.
The one
All
guy
right,
I mentioned
pass.
previously.
Seriously, it
Whose
really
name you
passed.
didn't say last time
Pass.
either.
Pass.
Pass. All right, it's going to Michael.
We're doing this in order. We're not rebuzzing. Okay. I've got two ideas. I'm going to go with the one that initially popped in my head. For the second one, I'm going to say, who is Leia Organa? Yep.
Go ahead, Nick Wolf.
Okay. It could technically be two people, so I'm gonna go with the one that I think is the unanimous one. It is who is Admiral Akbar?
That's correct.
Wow.
damn it.
Exactly who I said.
He's the guy that said it's a trap.
And it
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
to Nick
yes, it
again.
It is. I know. That's why I
It's a
couldn't
trap.
remember his name.
Let's
God,
go
I'm
ahead
terrible.
and do locations for 400.
Locations for 400. This planet is Queen Amidala's home planet. I believe that one's going to Nick Mustakangas.
Naboo.
Naboo is
Who is
correct. Who is Naboo? Counts. Who is Naboo does count. I'm going to say. All right, Nick Mustakangas, it's yours.
Oh, I get to select now?
Yeah.
I'll go with quotes for 400, please.
Quotes for 400. This character said, "Good, I hate long waits."
That could be anyone.
I think Michael.
Yeah, it's snarky, so I'm gonna go. Who is Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yep.
Devin.
Han Solo.
That is correct.
Who is Han Solo?
Wow.
There we go.
All right.
You
yeah.
have to say it in a question.
What? Okay, I'm never gonna say it in a question. So
Good.
Someone
Who cares
obviously-
about the
actually know
rules?
that.
Someone
I don't know.
obviously didn't stay home from school during the school day enough.
Yeah, that's
Stay down
true.
for the
We know that
weekend.
factually. Devin, it's your board.
let's go characters 100.
Characters for 100.
Oh,
This character was a good-natured Gungan throughout the prequel trilogy. Okay, we already have some answers. So Michael,
You gotta go with your boy. Who is Jar Jar Binks?
who is Jar Jar Binks indeed? We'll never know. He was written out due
How
to
is
being
Jar Jar
so
Binks?
unlikable. No one ever asks that.
Mm-mm.
How is Jar Jar Binks? It's a question.
Okay.
It counts.
Michael, the board is yours.
Yeah, let's just finish up this characters row here. Let's do characters for 200.
Characters for 200. This rebel general plans the starfighter attack on the first Death Star. That's going to go for Nick Wolf.
Who is Leia? Organa. Bloody hell.
See, Michael's got his hand raised.
To be fair,
Yep.
it could be argued she gave the presentation, but whatever.
Okay. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, this one I'm probably gonna lose on a technicality, but I'm gonna say who is Luke Skywalker? He's the one who gives the main plan.
Oof.
Incorrect, unfortunately.
I can kind of see the guy's face, but I'm really
Anybody?
not sure. I'm not buzzing in because I don't want to make an ass of myself.
And we're going to call it there. Who is Jan Dodonna?
Who the hell is that?
Who is Jan Dodonna indeed?
That's what I'm asking. Who is Jan?
Michael, the board is still yours.
Yeah, characters for 300.
Characters for 300. The name of the Ewok that befriends Leia in Return of the Jedi.
They have names?
I think that's going to Nick Wolf.
I believe. Who is Wicket?
Who is Wicked indeed?
Played by none other than Warwick Davis.
A little
Nice.
bit of bonus for you guys there. And Nick, the board is yours.
Wow.
It sure is, isn't it? Let's go ahead.
Not
and do
anymore, it's
300
not.
episodes.
Episodes for 300. In this movie, Queen Amidala says, the Federation has gone too far this time. That's going to Mike. Did I
No.
say next? Is it Nick? Nick
Yeah.
Wolf?
Yeah,
Nick Wolf.
should be
All
me.
right, let's
It
hear it.
absolutely should be me.
That's
We're gonna
fast.
go. You're asking what? Okay, in the movie, Queen Amidala says the Federation has gone too far this time.
Gonna buzz you for time here in a second.
Give me a second. It is what is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones?
Uh-uh.
Well, there's only one other one.
Go to Nick Mustakangas.
This one is episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Or what is the
Episode-
episode? You get the point.
I'm also giving up on the question thing. It's
Who is-
dumb. We all
who is the
agree.
Phantom Menace?
Nick Mustakangas, the board is yours.
Oh boy. I'm going to go quotes for 300.
Quotes for 300. This character said, "Why, you stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder." I think that one's going to Devin.
It's too easy.
That is gonna be Who is Princess Leia?
Add
Hey,
a
he's
boy
got it.
on the
Nice
questions.
job.
That's correct.
Look, listen. I almost said who is Han Solo.
That would have been sad. It's your board.
Let's go. Quotes 200.
Quotes for 200. This character said, "A tremor in the force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master. I think that one's going to... Nick, did you say next at the end of the last question?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Devin.
Devin.
Yeah.
Devin.
7.
Hold on, I can't see the question.
You buzz in, not knowing the answer?
I just
We're
buzzed
just
in.
listening.
I'm banking on it.
Well, to be fair,
It's
yeah.
a tremor in the
To be
force
fair.
I felt this was the presence of my old master. Who is Obi-Wan?
Incorrect.
Nope.
Huh?
Goes to me next, according
Goes
to
to-
the private chat here.
Goes to Nick Wolf next.
Who is Darth Vader?
Michael, stop.
Who is Darth Vader?
No,
Correct.
is that no. Wait. Is that what he said?
Yep.
I thought he said I haven't felt this presence since, and then he stopped and walked away.
Basically,
No.
yeah.
I mean,
Then okay.
I'm
But
going
you
with
were
what the
still wrong.
Jeopardy
You were-
board said.
Devin-
No,
there's-
Nick Wolf,
listen.
Nick Wolf, listen.
No.
I'm so technical.
damn, they're fighting.
I'm so technical. A presence of my old master. I was like, okay, I'm thinking they're gonna be so precise that's gonna throw you off because Darth Vader did not say he did not say those words. I'm like, that's a trick question. So that's my thinking.
Nick
True.
Wolf, the board is yours.
Let me just say this.
I'm just
Let me
saying.
Don't let
Devin-
Jeopardy get nasty, guys.
Your answer
No,
is
no,
wrong. It
you're
was
all
definitely
wrong.
not Obi-Wan. And Alex, you're wrong because that quote is messed up. So anyway.
Okay, let's just agree with that.
Episodes for 200.
Episodes for 200. Here we go. In this movie, Mace Windu says, "Be mindful of your feelings." Nick Wolf.
What is episode 2, Attack of the Clones?
Going to Michael.
Ooh.
what is episode 3, Revenge of the Sith?
And on to Devin.
What is episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
What is episode
I wonder
1?
what
The
it would
Oh,
be.
one other
We've
one.
eliminated 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Devin, the board is
Guys,
yours.
birds, like-
God, that's when he's talking to fucking Qui-Gon. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. Quotes 100.
Quotes for 100. This character said, "I will come back and free you, Mom. I promise." I didn't get a next question in the Privo chat, so I have to assume it was Devin. Or he buzzed
Anakin.
twice.
And who is young Anakin?
Atta boy, who is
First name Young,
Anakin?
last name Anakin.
That's my new rap name for sure. All right, Devin, the
That
board
actually
is
would be
yours.
dope. Let's go. Trivia 500.
Trivia 500.
Ooh.
This is the name of the lizard that Obi-Wan rides.
Oh,
Devin.
No, skip.
That's it for Devin.
Take away 500 points. Let's go.
I'm gonna do that. What is the name of the lizard that Obi-Wan rides?
What is he has a name?
Michael,
I think I saw on the internet somewhere.
recently? As in the last
you
couple
just
minutes?
Googled.
Who is Jar Jar Binks?
Incorrect. Well, we don't really know. That's maybe in some of the deeper canon.
Yeah.
I guess.
Devin,
Anybody? Oh, Devin. Yeah, Devin has buzzed back
I
in.
guess. It starts with a
It starts
B.
with your-
It starts with a B.
Take a guess.
Top book. Booga. Who is Booga?
We're gonna take it.
Oh,
No, good.
damn.
Well done.
How
Come
about
on.
that?
The board
Well,
is still
yeah, you're
Devin's.
Let's do episodes 100.
Episodes for 100. Here's your question. In this movie, Obi-Wan says, "Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them." I think that one's going to Devin.
Who is episode 3, Revenge of the Sith?
Incorrect. Nick
Nope.
Wolf.
Next quick.
let's do what is episode 4, A New Hope?
That's correct.
Yep.
Nice.
Well
nice.
done. Nick, the board is yours.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and do locations for 300.
Locations for 300. The location where Luke and Obi-Wan hired Han Solo to take them.
Bloody hell.
That one goes to Nick Mustakangas.
Mos Eisley. What is Mos Eisley?
Incorrect.
Well, that's
Michael.
bullshit.
God, now my brain is stuck on Mos Eisley and it won't let go of it. Oh God.
Valid location, damn it.
What is Tatooine?
Incorrect. Nick Wolf.
Oh, we're being more specific.
Let's do what is the Mos Eisley Cantina?
Incorrect. On to Devin.
Two.
That's a great question.
God. The Death Star? Shit, I don't know.
The final answer. What is Alderaan?
Fucking Alderaan, Doug. What? Help, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Wait a second, hang on.
No,
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. It's not Alderaan.
Hang on.
No, that's listen. That's where she records the message like, "Oh, help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope." Right?
No,
Am I
but they
wrong?
hire him in the Mos Eisley Cantina.
No. Where do they hire Han Solo to take them?
Take
Oh, I
take
misread
them,
the
yeah.
fucking question. God
I did
damn
at
it!
first too. I did at first too. Yeah.
Alex is a son of a bitch. Because yeah.
Nick, the board is still yours.
Yeah.
If you would have just said, "Hey, where were they going?" I would have been like, "Oh, okay." But all right, whatever.
That's not the fun of this game.
It's sure not. Let's do 200 locations.
Locations for 200. This is Chewbacca's homeworld.
Oh, come on.
I believe that one goes to Devin.
Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Don't tell me. Hold on. Wow. Nope. Give me.
If you slam your hand on your keyboard, you might end up with this answer.
Hey, no hints.
Fucking.
We're going to buzz you on time. Let's go with Nick Wolf.
Kashyyyk. What is Kashyyyk?
What is Kashyyyk?
Wrong.
Devin, you gotta stop just hitting S when the first word is said.
I should start doing the Alex Trebek and stop reading the questions.
But listen. What's crazy is I know it, and then as soon as you say it, I'm like, "Yep, that's what it was." God, I'm gonna fucking stop writing music. I'm just gonna start watching
Star Wars, nonstop Star Wars.
Because I used to not
You got
be this
something to
bad. I used to not be this bad. That's the thing.
You're pretty close behind Nick
Wow.
comparatively.
But that's what I'm saying. I gotta stop watching. I gotta stop playing music and start watching Star Wars more.
The board is Nick's.
All right. Let's go ahead and round out locations with 100, please.
Locations 100. This planet was home to Luke when he lived with his aunt and uncle.
It's way too easy.
I think that Nick buzzed into this one first. Mustakangas.
That's not what I'm seeing.
No.
Oh, is Ness your next?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's Devin.
I'm having issues.
Tatooine.
What is
Who is
Tatooine?
What is Tatooine?
Who is Tatooine?
Who is Tatooine?
The world's never gonna figure that one out. The board is yours, Devin.
Let's do trivia 400.
Trivia for 100. This day is considered Star Wars Day. Nick Wolf.
Why even buzz in at this point?
So I'm going to answer this, but I'm just adopting Devin's mentality of just hit S as soon as you open your mouth, Alex. May the 4th. May 4th.
What is May 4th is correct.
I was
What
going to
year?
say Life Day
What year,
too,
huh?
apparently. But
All right, Nick, the board is yours.
let's go ahead and do 400 trivia, please.
400 trivia. Lawrence Kasdan wrote the drafts of the first 3 episodes of Star Wars after he completed writing this other film. It's going to go to Nick Wolf.
Can you read the question one more time?
It's right there on your
thank
screen.
You. Now I can see it. Awesome. So
But
Lawrence
I will read
Kasdan
it
wrote
again.
the drafts of the first 3 episodes of Star Wars after he completed writing this other film. So, again, I don't know where you're pulling these, so I pray that you're getting this from a reputable place, because I cannot confirm nor deny anything that is listed there. But the only thing that I can think of that would be with this is, what is Indiana Jones?
Can you be more specific?
Can I? Let's go ahead and do Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's correct.
Wow, good job.
Ooh.
Hella good. Way to go. That was a hard one. Okay. Board's yours, Nick.
300 trivia.
300. The year that the first Star Wars movie was released. I believe that's Nick Wolf, if Michael's new next is not him buzzing in.
It's not an answer. New next.
Okay, great.
Star Wars A New Hope, Episode 4, the aptly named, was released in 1977.
That is also correct. Now, that brings us to our final question. Also going to be playing as our daily double, which means everyone will write down their answers and then press enter at the same time. I'll tell you when to press enter to submit it to the private chat. Also include a point value amount that you are willing to wager to possibly win or lose if you give the wrong answer.
This can't possibly go wrong.
Does this make sense? Enter the
it
point.
Makes sense, but for a
Final
podcast,
Jeopardy.
I'm a little curious. But let's go.
For a podcast?
It's
Well,
Final
I'm gonna read them off, so that'll help.
All right.
So
we
for
have
the last question, you don't buzz in, just write your answer and the point value that you're willing to wager. If you are correct, you will win that amount of points.
But do not submit until Alex tells us to submit, right?
Correct. Here is the last question. Han Solo was captain of this ship. Don't mess this up, guys.
I don't think that you... never mind.
Go ahead and submit.
This isn't a true daily double, but...
No point value rewarded to Devin, who wrote Kim Kardashian,
No,
or
take away all
Michael.
his points. He didn't follow directions.
Michael, who wrote Otogunga.
What the hell is that?
Nick Wolf did
the
not
city where
put
the
it in the
Gungans are
form of a
from.
question, but we're still going to count it.
Dock him all his points. Let's.
And Nick Mustakangas got it right with what is the Millennium Falcon. So that brings our final scores,
Kardashian.
if I may. Fucking, what's twice of what
Shouldn't
Nick got?
That's not even a
Shouldn't
ship.
Nick's be 1,400?
Correct. Now, what's yours supposed to be?
Oh, honey.
5,800. Great. So the final
Doesn't matter,
scores:
I won anyway.
Technically,
final scores are-
because they did wage 600.
Devin with 0, Nick with 1,400, Michael with 0, and Nick Wolf being our champion with 5,800 points.
Oh wait,
Do I get, like, a
I thought I had
Chili's gift card or
16. I thought I had 1,600. How did I get
You
zero?
don't have 1,600 because you wagered.
Nothing.
Technically, he wagered nothing. So he does have 1,600. He's
That's
right.
illegal.
He just
I'm
thought
the
the
loner.
name of the ship was Kim Kardashian, so that's why he
An
loses.
honest guess, honestly.
Okay, and that concludes our game of Jeopardy.
I think if anything, if we've learned anything from this, I don't think any of us know how Jeopardy works.
No, I think that is pretty fair. But we did get some fun content out of it.
Sure.
So, I have one more segment, quote unquote. But first, let's take a brief break from the segments to get Devin's little theory that he said he wanted to talk about what the future could hold for episodes 4, 5, and 6.
I think that with these Okay, long story short, I think that it's only a matter of time, probably a couple years. We're gonna, not soon, but in a long term, I do think if Disney remains control of Star Wars, we will get a remake of 4, 5, and 6 with different actors.
Oh
I really do.
shit.
I do. Now, I think it could be a. This is if this. It could potentially be, because there's technically a multiverse in Star Wars now and all that, and that's being explored. So there could be a. This would happen if Anakin didn't lose to Obi-Wan and going forward. But I honestly do think Disney will tamper within 20, 30 years with remaking. I say it with quotation marks. Remaking 4, 5, and 6.
And you're not
Whether
saying, so you're saying
Go
like
ahead.
new actors, but not gonna like do a deep fake situation like they've been doing.
I don't know that far, but I do think Disney will tamper into 4, 5. Disney/Marvel will tamper into 4, 5, and 6 more than they have been. Like, instead of just kind of doing like what happens after and connecting it to 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
I do think they are tampering with kind of making, and like I said, it could be like a kind of what Marvel does, like a what if scenario. Like I said, it could be something completely different. So
Yeah.
because with the backlash of, you know, some things they do that people don't like and some things they do that they do like, I could also see them playing it safe and not completely trying to say like, okay, this is the new 4, 5, and 6, which obviously you can't do no matter what. But
Yeah.
I really do believe in, before our lifetime is over, our generation is over, we will see another version of 4, 5, and 6 in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know. It's interesting because I feel like right now Disney's kind of got things on like a self-perpetuating like nostalgia cycle, where it's like right now, like it can hit the nostalgia from us growing up on like episodes 4, 5, and 6, like getting that first little bit of introduction, and then like really hitting like 1, 2, and 3 real hard, where it's like now we can look back on both of those segments of the timeline and be like really fond of it. But now it's like there's a whole new Star Wars generation that is going to get to our age before a new movie comes out, and it's just gonna be like, what else could they do without like eventually Star Wars as a series making it up into like, I don't know, eventually the teens and the 20s of episodes to just be insanity. But that's where it's like you hit the little bits of nostalgia that came through it. Put out more series like The Mandalorian, the book of Boba.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one final segment for us planned, and then we got a quick this from Michael, I believe. For this final segment, it's going to be, of course, a roundtable discussion. But I've created, if I could show you real quick, a random spinner. Here's the idea. What we're going to do is, who would win in a fight?
Oh, I love these.
It's not going to be anybody versus anybody. You just pick a side and argue your side, and maybe we'll all agree. But let's see who is first on the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
All right. Darth Tyrannus.
Who's that?
Count Dooku, you
Count
fool.
Dooku. Come on.
I knew that.
Versus
Trained by Master Yoda.
Padme
Oh, here we go.
Amidala.
All right.
Who
that's
wins?
easy.
She has some aggressive negotiation tactics.
Yeah.
And she may not be diplomatic about this approach. We have to keep in mind.
So is this just kind of, we're all going to dive in and just kind of see where people take a stand on who's
everybody dives in. Who do you think? I think some people are going Dooku right off the bat. Does anybody have any arguments about that?
Nope.
Well, I think we
think Padme.
We got to think about the situation of combat here. Are we thinking like one-on-one? Are we talking like government versus government?
The idea is one-on-one.
Okay, but
It's
not
just
on the
cage match.
floor of the council chamber, right?
No,
They're
They're
not
don't
like
think so.
they're not.
They're
okay,
dropped
they're
into
not-
the Colosseum on Geonosis. Let's say that.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Padme has some experience there fighting. So
She's a
does.
pretty good shot as well.
yes.
Does she get the barrage of handmaidens to confuse?
No, she does not. No, she doesn't
Okay.
get Corte and the rest of the handmaiden tribe. No.
Then I think this one easily goes to Dooku.
Dooku can shoot electric out of his fingers.
And also, he's
And-
just very trained with a lightsaber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Master
Yeah,
of
he's got
Form,
that
too.
limp dick looking lightsaber.
I
Hey,
heard that
perfect-
that's like an
perfect
actual
fourth form.
fighting style.
Yeah.
Like a type of sword for a fighting style. Devin, you got anything on this?
Sure, doesn't change what it looks like.
I mean, I'm gonna go. I
Limp.
mean, you have to say Dooku unless Padme is gonna have outside resources, like, and they gotta be pretty good resources. It's gonna be Dooku. Like,
All right. Let's spin her again. Who's up next?
Shout out to wheelofnames.com.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Me?
Me Skywalker.
Okay, all right.
Hey, the Star Wars equivalent of Mary from the Bible.
Now,
much.
now we can agree there are some names on here she's going to be able to beat.
Like Yoda.
Is there?
C3PO,
She could smother.
R2D2.
She could smother Grogu.
listen.
Honestly-
if 10 years Disney's gonna come out and say that Shmi Skywalker had the Force and just forgot about it or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
right.
So-
Let's see.
Casually
Oh.
forgets that they have the Forse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yoda.
Not Yoda.
Exactly.
Come on.
Shmi v. Yoda.
Okay. Yoda wins.
I don't know.
Yoda's chivalrous. I don't think
He
he
is.
would.
Do you think this is a draw? I think a draw is a fine option.
Somebody's got to win.
What weapons is she gonna use?
The
Extreme
Force
Sadness.
impregnated her, so we have to assume she has some sort of Force powers.
It don't work like that.
The power.
It don't work
power
like
of
that.
sadness.
Listen,
That's
listen.
what-
Okay, I'll take that back. As of now, it doesn't work like that. Like I said,
Okay, all right.
Disney and Marvel will probably change it to where it does. So
Okay.
She has some loose scraps and metal from within Watto's workshop where she's a slave. So
True,
I
true.
mean, she could
Yeah,
smack
she
him
gonna
over the head.
whap. She gonna whap Yoda with a.
With some scraps, with some scraps. Does she
She's gonna
have?
take off her
maybe.
sandal? That's what she's
Does
gonna
she
do.
have a
Go after
pod
Yoda like
racer?
that.
Who's to say?
No,
I
it's
think,
far too dangerous.
think it's probably Yoda. I think that's what we're going.
Yeah.
Man, that's
I think we
crazy.
should.
Let's see. Let's see if we can get a real
Let's try
fight
to get
in here.
a good, a nice, a real main event.
If we
fight
don't
here.
get one, I got a good question for you. I got one.
Darth
Oh,
Vader.
Vader.
Wait.
Okay, okay.
Darth
all right.
Vader.
They gave it to him handsomely. Yeah.
Versus Shmi. Shmi wins that
come on.
fight.
Please do,
Yeah.
please do what I was gonna do.
My
Please
son.
do it. Please do it.
My only
on.
boy.
Ben Solo. Now,
Oh,
this is not.
cool.
Okay.
This is not Kylo Ren. This is Ben Solo. So this is after the arc.
I will say this. Ben Solo, where probably one of the only few great parts of that film, when Rey passes him the lightsaber and he gives that shrug and takes out the Knights of Ren. I think he could. I think he could stand a fight against Darth Vader because his mindset is different now. He wouldn't want to be buddying up with Vader. He would be like,
Mhm.
"All right, now I know the error of my ways. You're a piece of shit. Let's have at it."
I would argue there's strength in Ben Solo that Vader lacks because Ben Solo is able to pull himself from the dark side, where Vader was unable to without the
Now-
assistance of Luke.
May I ask an interesting question? What version of Vader? There's a lot of different Vaders. Vader in his prime, as we see him in Rogue One, and where we'll see him, no doubt, in Obi-Wan, or is it in Episode 4 when he's like, "What have you done with these plans?" Or is it him at the end of Episode 6 where he's redeemed, and he's like, "Tell your sister you were right."
I think we're going Episode 4, first
Okay,
appearance
just
of Darth Vader.
Peak Darth Vader. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Peak
Ooh.
Vader.
I think it's a
like
good
that.
fight.
Oh yeah,
It's
a
I
good
think it's a
definitely-
good fight.
Definitely better than Shmi and Yoda.
That's an assassination.
This is a battle.
Devin, I can see you're thinking. What are you thinking?
So, okay, here's my main thing. We're talking about Ben Solo at the end of Rise of Skywalker when he's Ben Solo, right?
Yes, correct.
Right, we all agree on that.
That's right.
Okay, at that given moment, Ben Solo has not truly trained to be at his height as Ben Solo. He just became that Ben Solo.
I don't think he lives long enough, correct?
But that's what I'm
he
saying.
doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. We do so with that account, we again Disney and Marvel go change that soon. We go see later on at some point we're gonna see Ben Solo like at his height. I like kind of what Nick was saying when he took the lightsaber. We are gonna see more of that and see what his true, because we've seen with characters that are established and kind of done with, we've seen their limit. That Ben Solo, we don't know his limit yet.
Well,
so
we know he's dead.
that's why.
We do know that.
Okay, he's dead now.
I think what Devin's saying is that Disney may resurrect him in the future.
I don't know. We can't play this.
Okay. But if we're
hypothetical.
capping,
No.
we're capping. Okay, you're right. So
Well, this
we're
whole thing's a
capping-
hypothetical.
If we're capping Ben right there, like in the Rise of Skywalker, that's all we see of him. I'm gonna go with it's not easy at all. Like Nick said, it's not easy. Ben's gonna give him a run for his money, but I'm gonna go with Darth Vader because the key words was we said Darth Vader peak, and we said Ben knowing who he was, not Ben at his peak. We don't know if that was his peak or not.
Do you not think that his training with Luke and then later his training with towards the dark side wasn't enough to get him to where he needed to be for that fight?
Nah.
No, I think it's enough, and with his blood, like with several factors, I'm not saying that Darth Vader is going to wipe the floor with Ben Solo. He's not.
Mhm.
But I think if we're talking about peak Darth Vader, which we agree, which the three of you, if two out of three agreed on peak Darth Vader was 98, 99% into the dark side, fully convinced in that. So they could pull up on that. Ben Solo at the end of Rise of Skywalker was just freshly new into, okay, this is wrong, this is right, not knowing how do I benefit at most the both dark and light. Not
You
just
don't think
one
that
or
we
the
would
other.
get an I am your grandfather kind of a thing?
Not
where
really.
maybe
Like I think Ahsoka has a better chance in that scenario because she's had more time to balance
Well, we've
that
seen how that played out.
and light. Yeah.
But I would argue that just because he has that mental outlook and that internal identity change, that shedding the persona of Kylo Ren and retaking his Christian name, as it were, Ben Solo,
Mhm.
I would argue that none of his training and none of his strength and power went away. And he still carries that with him. He carries the training that he's had over the years with Luke, as well as through Snoke and whatever other training he did as well. And he carries that with him. And what we saw with him at the end of Rise of Skywalker, when he throws his lightsaber away and sheds the identity of Kylo Ren, is just a new perspective on life and a change in identity, not a change in power and strength. So
Okay. So Nick, are you saying that at that point, at the end of Skywalker, Ben Solo is like a mixture of like you and Nick, you get what the reference I'm saying. Not saying that you guys won't, but just because I know
Wolf.
Nick is kind of like a little bit. Nick Wolf is a little bit more. Are you saying he's more persona a gray Jedi at that point? Like he can utilize both dark and light. Or are you saying he's completely light as Ben Solo?
I would say he's more gray from what we see
cool.
in Rise of Skywalker and not fully over. But again, I don't want to err in the hypothetical of like what could happen in the future. So
that's fine. That I can take gray, because me taking Ben Solo is thinking like more light than gray.
Okay.
So that's
but
what
gray, I think.
That's what I'm
So-
like. But yeah, you're right.
No.
Manifesting
Darth
in
Vader
dark
versus
and light.
gray.
Yeah.
So let's see who else we can get real quick. We'll do maybe two more of these.
So it's a draw.
It's a draw there.
No, no,
A
I
close
say,
one.
Ben Solo. Ben Solo. Look, listen. My final verdict is Ben Solo. I'm gonna say Ben Solo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now we have Darth Sidious, also known as
Ooh.
Emperor Palpatine, but in
Yep.
his heyday,
The Senate, if you will.
if you would.
He is the Senate.
I think this is going to be a respin.
That could be
Sidious versus himself.
it could be Darth Sidious, Palpatine at the end of episode 3, and then
It's
it could
the-
be his
it's the clone.
at the end of
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, well, we got
Yeah,
Rey.
please.
We know how that goes.
Yep. However,
Just
Rey does
skip
get
that shit.
KO'd.
Let's give her one more spin.
She has to use the power of all the Jedi.
Wake up, Rey.
Versus Kylo Ren.
Okay, Darth Sidious versus Kylo Ren.
That's an interesting one.
That is.
No, this isn't Ben.
This isn't Ben. This is Kylo Ren. This is evil
Pete.
leader. Yes.
I'm gonna go with Darth Sidious. And
Okay.
here's why: because he's older and he has all that experience. Being the full Sith master that he is, I think that he's gonna have the upper hand because he's got his priorities straight.
He was
trained
by Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Mike, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going with Darth Sidious as well. I mean, like you look back at the peak of what we've seen of Darth Sidious
Peak.
is in his fight with Mace Windu in Episode 3,
Mm.
where he takes out 3 other Jedi in that moment
Handsomely.
with his spin to win move.
Jedi Masters.
Yeah. And the only thing he is unable to do in that moment is not beat Mace Windu in 1-on-1. But some say he would have done that on purpose.
But he's good at acting.
He's very good at acting. Well, yeah, so I gotta go with Darth Sidious on this one.
What a meme!
Yeah, I think it's an easy choice for Darth Sidious because Kylo Ren we already know is kind of a broken person as is, and the one thing that Darth Sidious is good at doing is looking for those cracks and invading them.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So I think
That's how he
that's where we're
turned
going.
Darth Vader.
Devin, anything to add?
No, I agree. Sidious.
Cool, easy pick. Let's do one more, and then we'll take it to the quick this. So for our very last one, we're back with Yoda. No, wait.
Back with
Dooku?
Tyrannus. Dooku, Count Dooku.
Nah, we already got a good one out of him.
We're gonna have to keep spinning this until we get somebody real interesting.
Roll.
Django Fett.
All
Oh,
right.
that's a good one.
That's
Thought he was gonna line
interesting.
R2D2. Who could take on R2? Everyone.
No one.
It's interesting, Alex. I don't know if you keep clicking remove, like to remove these people off the spinner, and it doesn't seem to be removing them.
C-3PO.
Perfect.
That's an easy one. We know Django wins that one. So
Yep.
let's go again.
C-3PO doesn't really have a combat ability, does he?
Oh.
Yoda.
Yoda versus who? I forgot.
Versus Django Fett.
Jango Fett.
Also known as... So that's like the best Jedi versus the best bounty hunter.
Yeah.
A bounty hunter so nice, they made him 3,400 and twice.
To be fair, canonically, Django only lasts in episode 2. So
Yeah.
I'd argue he's not particularly good at what he does.
He's good at making clones, I guess.
Does he get to have the jump on Yoda? Is that even possible? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think
That's the
so.
that's the only case where I could see him winning is if he is in some sort of assassination attempt, but
I don't
Yoda,
think
he's-
that with
he's
the
too-
Force,
he's
he's
too
going to be
strong with
able
the
to
Force.
pull it.
Yeah, well, they weren't able to sense the fact that Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, was the Sith Lord that was pulling the strings. So they're
True.
not particularly perceptive of a lot of things.
So that
isn't it the whole theory is that they weren't that perceptive because there were so many Jedi, and once the culling happened, that the intensity of the feelings of the Force on the light side was just as strong as it was on the dark side.
I think it's more so the fact that they had wiped out the dark side, the Sith.
Yeah,
It's the equivalent of walking in the woods and getting hit by a bus. Like, that's what happened to them. They weren't looking for the bus. The bus just hit them.
So yeah, you're right, because it was one of those situations where it was like in their arrogance they couldn't see the dark side in front of them.
Devin looks like he wants to say something pretty bad.
No.
Luke alludes to that in Last Jedi about how at the height of their power, their hubris got the better of them and allowed for the rise of Palpatine.
Yeah, because they just believed that they had defeated the dark side.
Yeah.
But balance must always be held for the Force. So when the light becomes too strong, the dark will find its way back into the light.
Yeah, because in episode 2, they don't even talk about Count Dooku as being like a dark side guy until they meet him, right? He's just Count Dooku. He's serving as a counselor for the.
He was trained by Darth Sidious.
Well, but he was trained by Yoda before that.
He was originally a Jedi, but then he turned to the dark side. And at the end of episode 1, at Qui-Gon's funeral, Mace Windu and Yoda are pondering the question about, there was a Sith that attacked Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, but he was killed. And they say always two there are, a master and an apprentice, and it pans over to Palpatine. So they're already kind of on alert. Like, okay, so a Sith has returned. There's always two. So if there's one, there's another one. Where is he?
And it's at this funeral where Yoda gets glocked by Jango Fett. Takes a pot shot from him, and he just gets taken.
I forgot he was
right.
I missed that part of the movie, but you're right. Upon reflection, I think. You're right.
So yeah, I think Jango Fett wins that one.
Awesome.
Are there any on this list that you guys really want to talk about? A pair up that maybe we wouldn't see anywhere else?
Got nothing.
Grogu versus Grievous.
Grogu versus Grievous. Grogu versus Jar Jar Binks is probably a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
All right. Let's call that. So when we get back from this musical interlude, we got to quick this. And we're back.
I love how it works.
Yeah, it's great. It doesn't, when in editing, that sounds real crisp, but only in editing. Unfortunately, in the live version, it's pretty awkward. Mike, on this very special day, this May the 4th that we're celebrating, did you bring us a nice quick this?
I did. So there's really only if we want to start the timer, we can go whenever we want.
I think Nick's got you covered there.
Cool. All right, let's go.
Do the thing with the... Okay.
All right, cool. So one of the things that is Star Wars related that I feel falls right into my little lap of speciality when it comes to this show happens to be something that I don't think anyone else here has taken the time to watch. So this might be like a pretty one-sided little view into things, but this would be Star Wars Visions, the Netflix specials that are an anime adaptation of different Star Wars short stories. Has anyone even heard of these?
Is it on Disney Plus now?
It's on Disney Plus. It's not on Netflix. And yes, I have watched those. Yes.
Okay.
Did it get moved like the Marvel series did?
No, it was.
No,
originally
I think it started on Disney
Plus.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
think my brain just got
cool.
all video streaming services are Netflix to me. So
that's so true.
But yeah, so have any of you have heard? So Nick Wolf, you've heard of
Yes.
Star Wars Visions? Okay.
Yes.
So basically, the whole idea of this is that Star Wars / Disney, they always wanted to collaborate with a lot of Japanese anime studios for a very long time. I mean, we even go back to the beginnings of cartoons as a whole. And there was always this want and inspiration of East from the West, West from the East, each one pulling inspiration from the other. And one of the very long notable things is that in anime, a lot of the studios and these writers they actively talk about their influence from Star Wars. Lightsabers are a huge part of a ton of series. one of the most popular series of all time is called Gundam. Gundam is this show where it's basically these people pilot giant mech people. Kind of think like the combining of all the Zords at the end of like a Power Rangers episode where they form the one big mighty Zord. It's basically like individuals would pilot those and they'd fight against each other. Well, the idea that they took from Star Wars is they would all fight with beam swords. They couldn't legally say lightsabers, but they were all beam swords. So even going back to the earliest remnants of anime, Star Wars has always been an influence. So Disney contacted, let's see how many, 9 different anime studios to produce 9 different anime shows, or 9 different episodes of Star Wars Visions, where each one would create, they had full freedom to create their own story in their own animation styles, whatever they pictured. One of the first one, actually the first episode that is shown is probably the best one of these. It is called The Duel. It takes place in this purely black and white, heavily heavily influenced by early samurai movies from the likes of like Akira Kurosawa. Have any of you heard of him before?
Nope.
I believe
Yes.
you talked about him before on this show too.
Yes,
I have. He is absolutely famous for like the original like black and white samurai movies where he's a pioneer of cinematography when it comes to like usage of motion and portraiture and like actually like landscapes to set up his scenes. But the first episode takes very heavily inspiration from this, only using the only colors they actually use for the entire sequence are for the blasters and for the lightsabers.
Dope.
And it does this to a maximum, to an incredible effect. You're basically following the story of it's kind of like this feudal Japan-esque kind of thing where it's like you are following one lone samurai who's one lone Jedi who comes to this town that is being taken over by bandits, who is being run by a dark side user. Eventually one thing leads to another and he ends up fighting this dark side user. And it's during this is they use the color to incredible effect that when he first draws his lightsaber, you see that he draws it straight from the sheath. Immediately you get this huge glow of red. So you actually see it's one former dark side master against another dark side master.
Oh,
and
man.
one of the coolest parts about this though is that it turns this lightsaber battle from just a spectacle of like combat. So what we've seen from like the 2 different styles, I guess like 2 to 3 different styles now, where it's like you've got the old school, which is like the very samurai-esque fights in 4, 5, and 6, and then the like acrobatic fights in 1, 2, and 3. It combines the 2 of those. But the coolest part about it is the usage of ingenuity. The winner of this combat isn't the person who's the most skilled fighter, it's the person who's the smartest. And it's just such a great little watch. Highly recommend watching it, the very least the first episode if you can.
Dope. That is really cool. I didn't know about that at all, but now I have something else to go binge watch on this whole high holy day of May the 4th. I want to thank our guests, Nick, Wolf, and Devin, Skye, Walker, for coming on to do this awesome May the 4th special. If there's anything you guys have to plug, go ahead and feel free. We'll start with Nick. Do you got anything?
Sure. You can, you feel so inclined to hear my musings and oddities and bullshit, go ahead and follow me on all the social medias that I have. Just look up Wolf with no E, all one word, Wolf with no E. I've got a variety of different socials. And with that same social, be looking out for me on Twitch at that same Wolf with no E. That should be starting up here in the next month. And in addition to that, look forward to a film podcast by myself as well, called Punch Drunk Cinema. So be looking forward to that in the next month as well. So yeah, I guess if you want to do that, have a good time.
Nice. How about you, Devin?
Cool. Nope. I appreciate you guys having me, and as always, it was a pleasure.
You don't want to plug your music or anything?
Oh, come on.
Oh no, you guys already your listeners already are aware of that, so it's no need. It's no need.
For those of you who don't know, we were on DJW's first release album. We were the intro to Color Palette. So
True.
if you guys want to hear maybe a secret episode of Entertain This that only aired on a deep cut Entertain This episode that only aired on Color Palette, listen to the intro to Color Palette. Stream all of DJW's music. There, I did the plug for you. You're welcome.
That'd be $5.
That'll be $5. As for us, we are Entertain This, a thought-provoking podcast encapsulating all things entertainment. And if there's anything out there that you want to hear us talk about that you haven't heard us talk about already, there are a couple ways you can reach out to us. The number one and easiest way for you is to go to our website, www.entertainthis.net/ET-podcast. Scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a little survey that you can fill out there. It sends it straight to our email, or you can just reach out to us via email. Our email is entertainthispodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, we're entertain_this. On Instagram, we're entertain this podcast. And on Facebook, we're podcast entertain this. And as always, entertain us so we can entertain you. And you can entertain this. We'll see you guys next Friday. Goodbye!
Goodbye. Special thanks to Nick Wolf and Devin Walker for joining us on this episode. Additional commentary is provided by Alex Steele, Nick Mustakangas, and Michael Savoya. Our showrunner and resident fact-checker is Chloe Price. Our theme music is Rushable by Aaron Spencer, with interstitial music by DJW. Tune in every Friday for new episodes, and thanks for listening.